I have an off-air question to add to your questions.
My questions can be on air.
My off-air question for you is, we had someone reach out that has like a shop that makes hats and stuff like that, offering to send some ALS hats that he had made in the past with Tom Haberstroh. They were like Lou Gehrig themed, and asked if you wanted any of those for your giveaway.
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds good. Actually, I should ask Haberstroh if he liked them.
Okay.
If they were.
Cool. I mean, he did it. He did it with Kate. Like, they made it specifically for that fundraiser. So when you talk to Tom, ask him, and if you want them, I can have him send them here, and then we can send them your way if you'd like.
Didn't you also make me a hat for some other reason? This
same guy made a hat and sent
it's
it
his expression
for
of
you.
love.
Yeah, he makes hats. So, and that's still under my desk. So that can be sent with this batch of charitable hats too, if you would like.
Chats.
All right, cool.
All right. So after you talk to Tom, I guess I'll follow up with him or whatever.
Okay.
All right.
My first question for Mike Schur. Were you ever a fan of Arrested Development?
I was.
Do you ever call the city of Sacramento Sacramendi?
I forget that joke now. That rings a very faint bell.
That's really all there is to it. My second question, did you feel the earthquake this morning?
Yeah, it woke me up.
Really?
That's like a for real earthquake when it wakes you up. Yeah, it woke me up, woke my son up. And he came into my room and was like, that was an earthquake, right? And I was like, yes, go back to sleep. And then there was an aftershock that kind of woke me up too. It's pretty intense.
My third question, did you watch Aubrey Plaza on SNL? She is having a moment right now, is she not?
That seems like more of a statement than a question.
I'm asking for you to agree with me.
Is she not is a question.
Is she not is the question.
Is she not technically? She saved at the end. I did watch her. I thought she was great. I thought she's exactly the kind of host that people at SNL would love, because she's like fully committed to everything. She doesn't half-ass any acting role that she ever takes. And I thought she did really well, and it was a really like surreal to see her on the show, but B, then her and Amy playing the characters that I wrote and created all those years ago was really like I had to like pause it and like gather myself a little bit. Like, this is very strange. On the show I used to work on, where I met Amy, then like whatever, 20 years later, there's Aubrey hosting the show, playing the characters on the show. You know, you get it. It was very weird.
Jesus, hit it already.
God, we were waiting for him to just keep adding charges?
I was just gonna talk until it happened. I was like,
I was waiting for you to stop talking,
I was stalling to let you do it.
You were as shocked as we were that it didn't happen as quickly as it did, right?
I thought for sure he was gonna cut me off. I was like, all right, I guess I'll keep going until I'll add in that I used to work there.
I was just letting you sink, and you're looking at me, Louie.
Characters I created on a show that I created.
Man, you guys are slipping. You should have been on that so much earlier.
Jess, you get all your questions in?
That was it.
Wait, so the earthquake, did things move, or just like you just felt the tremors?
No, things moved and shifted a little bit. This was a real one. This was like I immediately woke up and like stuff on my nightside table was like kind of rattling a little bit.
In the movies, like the plates fall out on the ground and stuff, and pictures fall off the wall.
We experienced one in Tahoe. Stugotz, Tony, Chris Cody, and Greg and myself. We were like, oh, so this is what it's like,
dude.
And you're like waiting for we were underneath a big chandelier. We're waiting for it to like fall on top of us.
Dude, I was at Summer League in Vegas, the Zion Williamson Summer League, where the earthquake hit, and I was on a riser because we were doing the jump from the arena, and it starts shaking, and the scoreboard starts shaking, and I swear to God, I was like, we're all gonna die. Like, I just saw, this is happening right now. It was my first time being in an earthquake. I was terrified. Everybody was panicking except for like the old, like the sound guy or something, who's one of these stringers or whatever. He was just like, yeah, this is nothing.
Yeah. That's nothing.
Well, it's like us with hurricanes down here. I mean, a little bit.
I guess I've never been in a hurricane.
But the difference is you can prepare for a hurricane.
Yeah, you know
right?
it's coming.
The earthquake, you have no idea. It's got like we're going about our day, Lake Tahoe, playing golf. I think we were eating and then getting ready to record.
I think we were podcasting. We had just finished podcasting.
Right.
Are we trying to outdo each other with natural disaster experiences?
I don't know what we're doing.
It's like tornadoes.
There's like an LA QuakeBot alert system where sometimes you get that works on probabilities. So you get a text on your phone that says like there may be an earthquake in the next, but it's like in the next 15 seconds.
Oh, thanks.
So you're kind of like
not really a ton of notice.
Yeah, it's not a. I mean, it's amazing that they even can do that. But yeah, the fundamental difference here is like it just happens. You're just in it. A couple of years ago, we were sitting out in our backyard, and sometimes if you happen to be looking in the right direction, you can actually kind of see them coming. Like you can see the ripple coming through the like earth in front of you. It's very crazy.
Calling bullshit.
No, I'm not kidding.
Wow.
You see a
He's
little bit of
veteran
like a weird
Angelino
wave
at this point. You've been through them.
I have indeed.
How much do you guys know about the Earth?
A lot.
Not as much as I wish I did.
Well,
I don't. You know what? I think even if you say a lot, none of us know a lot about the Earth.
Really?
We haven't scratched the surface on what we know about the Earth.
Well, because this
same
goes
with the deep sea.
This question goes deeper than the surface, and that is there's been news stories that have come out that the Earth's core stopped and then started spinning in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
What the hell does that mean? Because
didn't even know
everyone's
that.
freaking out about it, and I see that and I read it, I'm like, I don't know what any of that means. How is that going to impact my life? And then I saw one thing, was like, the days may be shorter, and that was it. And I'm like, that seems like a bigger deal than that.
Wait, so the Earth's crust is like a pizza pie, and so it's spinning one way, and then they're like,
No,
we
the
gotta
core.
spin it.
It's the core.
The core
Oh,
spinning,
the like
yeah.
Not the
molten
crust?
core. No, not the
I like
You
to
had
think
it-
I like
you
to
had
think
it
of
like-
the Earth's crust as a cheese stuffed crust pizza
You had it like the pizza man in the pizzeria just kind of flipping
or
it.
woman, yeah. That was a bit from Game Theory this
So
weekend.
she's spinning it on
HBO
the
if anyone
finger,
watched it.
and then it goes the other way. That's the way you were imagining
Yeah.
it.
Earth's
When the
rotation.
moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. That's what you had?
That's amore.
Yeah.
So, Mike, you know
sure
about
is.
this story.
I do, yes.
Do you know what any of it means?
I sort of understood when I read it, but apparently the reason not to freak out is that it happens every like 70 years. This happens. Like the interior core slows down and then starts spinning the other way. But it's in a bowl of like molten lava, so you don't feel it. Doesn't affect anything except it's very, very slowly. When it's spinning the opposite way, it very slowly slows down the rotation of the Earth like a fraction of a millionth of a second.
I can't wait for this Christopher Nolan movie. I don't know about you guys.
The core. Rated R.
The report says that the inner core's rotation came to a near halt around 2009 and then turned the opposite direction. So this seems to have happened a while ago, and I guess we're only onto this. We can't really study the inner core so much because of how hot it is. And we can only actually really study it due to
There's a will, there's a way.
the seismic waves that come because of earthquakes. So
Dig
maybe today,
deeper.
what happened to you this morning, Mike Schur, might allow a scientific opportunity to learn more about the inner core.
This feels like a job for James Cameron, really. Like you
Yeah.
feel like James Cameron should make some kind of submarine and go down into the core and look around.
But no, but
There was a
there'd be
movie
a
called
love
The
story
Core.
in it, right? There's got to be a love story.
All right, there's like a piece of there's a diamond down there. It's like the world's biggest diamond, and someone's looking for it, and you get it.
Not worth getting. The British are just going to steal it anyways.
You really had no desire to try and sell that
Hey,
whatsoever.
I could tell he's a TV man. That's
Stugotz, I have my list of top 5 Sacramento Kings who make you smile. Do you have your list?
Oh, wow.
I have
Okay,
a
here
list.
we go.
I believe Amin has a
Transition on
list.
that
I am
one?
giving others time to gather their list, and hopefully we won't all say the same names here. But I do have my
There
list
is-
ready.
Great. And while I'll filibuster a little bit to let you write your list, there is a Sacramento Kings update. As the Sacramento Kings
Sacramenty.
correspondent for Meadowlark, I feel like I should give this update. GM Monty McNair signed an extension. It's a big
did.
deal. Right? I mean,
it is a big deal.
this
'cause-
guy he completely built up the team again. He drafted, listen to the things this guy did. He drafted Tyrese Halliburton.
and
He
traded
flipped
more.
Halliburton for Sabonis, who's the core of the team. He drafted Keegan Murray, who's great, by the way. He traded for Kevin Huerter. He hired Mike Brown. This is he's the coach of the year. Mike Brown's coach of the year. I feel like Monty McNair, executive of the year. Amin, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, he was on the hot seat, like up until basically this season, because
Because of the Halliburton trade, or because they screwed that up?
like everything wasn't working. And at some point, it was like, okay, dude, like you came here, you came from Houston, you're supposed to have all of this knowledge and stuff, and things weren't working out. But Sabonis has played great.
You're shocked by that, by the way, right?
By what?
How good Sabonis has been?
No. He was an all-star in Indiana.
But you're surprised at how good the team is. No?
I'm surprised at how good the team is. Yeah, I didn't think they'd be this good. Then again, like the West is really compressed, so anything can happen in the second half of the season. But Sabonis was good. The Herter deal was huge because they basically took advantage of Atlanta, who was trying to basically go into cost savings mode, and got a really good player out of it. And then Mike Brown and the rest of that staff that they brought in, like they've hit the mark perfectly. And so I'm with you. I wouldn't be mad at either of those guys winning the award.
It is my goal, my stated goal, to make this show talk about the Sacramento Kings for at least 5 minutes a day, every day for the rest of the year.
Have they become your West Coast team, like your adopted West Coast team?
Lighting the beam out there?
I lit the beam the other night. I mean, I was just saying before we went on air, it was super exciting to watch the beam get lit by Malik Monk and then to run outside and like look up at the sky. I took a picture of myself in the beam.
What is it about the Kings that has everyone scrambling to put together a top 5 Sacramento Kings that make you smile list? What is it
I
about
think it's
that
because
team?
they're the like famously most terrible franchise in the sport, right? So like when they're good, it's exciting.
So
That's what I think.
to me, the funny. So I did like a search on Sacramento Kings sort of by games played, and there are only 36 players that have played the equivalent of more than 2 seasons with the Kings. Like it's such a transient. It's such a transient team that like most of the guys just come in and out, and so there actually aren't that many in my time long-term Sacramento Kings. But I have 5 as well.
Okay, Mike,
I have 3 OLIs.
Do you really?
Me too.
Can you save them? Can you save them for the rest of us?
You have 8 Kings?
I have 8 Kings to make you smile.
That's amazing. All right, so you want to do the Kings first? We have stat of the day. Are you opening up a pack of baseball cards today?
I've got it right here. Yep, we're doing all this stuff, man.
What a delight! This is
I
amazing.
now essentially host this show.
All right, what are we starting with? We start with the Kings?
Yeah.
Kings.
All right, Mike Schur, you get us going.
OLI number 1, Otis Birdsong.
Wow.
That's a good one.
Keep
I mean,
going.
do you have OLIs?
I do have OLIs.
I only have
ahead.
1, so I don't have 3. I have to wait till you get down to 1, Mike.
OLI number 1, Eddie Johnson.
Excellent.
OLI number 2, Hito Turkoglu.
Really?
There we go.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
He's in my top 5. OLI number 2, Olden Polynice.
Great one. OLI number 3, Mateen Cleaves.
Oh, that's a good one. Do you remember Mateen Cleaves wearing a Chris Webber jersey on the sideline while Chris Webber was his teammate? You guys don't remember this? Like, this is when everyone
I do remember it.
Throwback
Yes.
jerseys. No,
Yes.
you don't. Throwback jerseys.
I felt someone needed to support you. I mean,
Guys naming dudes is my favorite game. I love this. I could be guys naming dudes all day.
Oh, yeah.
OLI number 3, Dante Green. He showed up to his pre-draft workout in a suit.
I could join in now. Bobby Jackson.
The cut of his jib. Bobby Jackson's excellent. Great.
Number
Great.
5.
6-man point
Number
guard
f-
off the bench.
Wait, hold
Incredible.
on, Mike. Hold on a second. How many people have list here? Whittingham, you have 1.
Tony's got one?
Tony's got
Oh, my
1.
God.
All right. Amin has 1. I have 1. We have 5 lists of 5
There's gonna
Sacramento
have to be
Kings that
some
make us
overlap.
It's all
smile.
going to be this.
There's
It's all
gonna
going to be
be-
the
it's
same
all gonna
It'd
be
be
guys.
great if it
Same.
didn't, but it's going to. All right, so Mike, let's just establish an order here. Mike Schur, Tony, Whitty, me, Amin. Good?
Got it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Here we go. All right, go ahead, Mike. Number 5.
Number 5, Peja Stojakovic.
Damn it. Number 5 for me, Doug Christie.
Oh no!
Number 5 for me, Costa Kufos. Stu?
Are you okay?
I'm sorry. No, because I have to change. I also had Doug Christie at number 5.
Ah, great minds.
There you go.
Scott Pollard.
Good one.
Number
Before I
4.
do number 4, Matt Barnes was on my flight home from Sacramento yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Just want to get that in there.
Hit it.
First class, I hope, with the other assholes.
Southwest flight. No,
Wow.
no first class.
Wow,
Just
look at
hanging
you.
out in
Flying
Southwest.
Southwest.
Wait, hold on. Emergency
Great.
exit row? That's the first class in Southwest, right?
He sat in the emergency exit row, I think, just because of his size. Yes, but I sat in like row 8 or whatever. All right, here we go. Number 4, Wayman Tisdale.
R.I.P.
Man.
Number 4, Vlade Divac.
Yeah.
Heaters.
Smoking a cigarette.
Nick Stauskas.
Curdy's is good, man.
Current one.
Stauskas? Stauskas?
Stauskas?
Stauskas? Stauskas.
Number 4 for me, Scott Pollard.
1 T and Scott, by the way.
Yes.
Really?
The rare.
Yeah. Number 4 for me, Corliss Williamson.
Excellent.
Speaking of cores.
Coors Light.
Miller Lite.
Number 3, Mike.
Number 3, Lawrence Funderburk.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
I'm constantly
There you
having
go.
to change my list. I mean,
Number 3, Peja Stojakovic.
Number 3, Brad Miller.
oh, excellent headband. Number 3 for me, Walt Williams.
The Wizard.
Yes.
You know why they called him the Wizard, right?
No.
He was supposed to be the next Magic Johnson. That was
He wasn't.
early 3-point specialist, though. Yeah, number 3 for me was Lawrence Funderburk.
Number 2, Nate Tiny Archibald.
Oh, wait a second.
What?
Did not play in Sacramento. He was a Kansas City King.
Oh, does it? Did you?
I
I'm
think
sorry.
we said
Did you
Kings.
specify
I
that
think
before the
we
list
said
was
Kings.
made?
Top 5 Kings that make you smile.
I thought Sacramento
Nah,
was
I
in
heard
there.
Sacramento.
It counts.
Sacramento
It
was
counts.
in
It
there.
counts.
Okay.
It counts, okay.
Tony, number 2.
Number 2, I had Mateen Cleaves. He was already mentioned. Jason Williams.
Oh,
White chocolate.
Omri Caspi.
Really? Hold on, I got to scratch it.
Oh, no, you got
Number 2 for me, Wayman Tisdale.
accomplished jazz musician. Wayman
Yes.
Tisdale.
Yeah, our number 1's all going to be the same. I feel
No,
like.
it's not.
No, it's not. It's
No, it's
definitely
not.
not.
My number 2 is Hito Turkoglu. Funny guy.
Mike
Number
Schur,
1,
number 1.
Spud Webb.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've got a tie at number 1 of these that make me smile.
No,
Could've
just
gone
pick
OLI
one,
when you had the
please.
chance.
No, but I was.
If there's a
Can't
tie
have
at
a
1, you
tie.
can't have a number 2.
Yeah, no, you don't know that. What? Number 1 for me
Tony.
in a tie, Zebo. Okay.
I'm cutting his mic so he can't do the second
It's
one.
an OLI. I mean,
Mitch
All right.
Richmond was it for the people that didn't hear me because Jess is
Jess-
arbitrary on turning off my mic.
Chaos will
You
win.
don't know the
All
rules
right.
of the top 5 list, Tony.
I'm not pivoting.
It's my top 5.
I'm not pivoting just because it's been said. My number 1 remains Lawrence Funderburk.
my number 1 is Reggie Theus.
Wow.
I was waiting for it.
Good job, Stugotz.
Thank you.
My number 1 is probably number 1 in Mike's heart as well. Eddie Casa, Eddie House.
I don't remember him as a king.
Legend, really more of a
Onions.
Celtic. Really more of a Celtic.
More of a Heat
More
for
of a
me,
Heat.
Clive.
Yeah.
Eddie House is the quintessential. I play here for a year and a half, and then
Yes.
I move on.
Right, and all the fans love. I remember I was like 11 years old, and I go to Heat games. Like, why doesn't Eddie House play more?
That's-
Every time he comes on, good things happen.
You know who
and
else
then, like,
says
you
that?
realize later, defense.
You know who else says that? Eddie House.
All right, Mike Schur, stat of the day.
All right, let's do it.
Start of the day, start
Glorious
of the day.
list.
It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day.
We did a great job turning original sound on so I could hear the music. Well done.
Are we just gonna do this every day?
Yep. Okay. That's right. According to OptaStats, the Eagles beat the Giants 3 times this season by a total of 63 points. That is the largest scoring margin by an NFL team in a 3-game sweep against an opponent in a season since 1929, when the Giants beat the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets 3 times by 75 points. You guys all remember the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets?
Only Greg Cody does.
I love old-timey sports team names.
Are there like a bunch of NFL team names that are somewhere that we just are completely? Because I had
Yes.
no idea that was a franchise.
Yes, if you
I
go,
didn't either.
The
If you go
Decatur
to-
Staley's.
if you go to
There's a ton of them.
profootballreference.com and just hit franchises, it'll show you every single franchise that's ever existed, including.
Wait,
the
we should
old
do a
names.
top five defunct NFL franchises
That make me
list.
smile.
I got
God.
it.
Let's
I'm on
do
it
it.
for tomorrow.
For tomorrow.
Okay.
All
You're
right,
on
that's tomorrow's top 5.
All right.
Oh man, I just saw a
right.
doozy.
All right, let's open up a pack of baseball cards, Mike.
Here we go.
You got a doozy? I love a doozy.
Oh man, I want to save it for tomorrow, but I also kind of want to spoil it now.
No, save it.
All right.
Yep, save it.
Yeah,
Oh,
save it.
man.
All right. Once again, please go to GoFundMe.com/Pozcast. Donate money for ALS research to the Eleanor and Lou Gehrig Foundation. And then once you do that, you can go to send an email to PozcastRaffle@gmail.com and enter yourself in a raffle to win a bunch of cards and hand personalized essays and signed books and all sorts of stuff. For example, you could pick this Jesse Orosco card.
Oh, wow, Jesse Orozco.
The other half of your Mets bullpen there.
Yeah,
from
McDowell
86.
and Orozco, 2 closers, 86 Mets World Series. God, what a great pack.
I'm convinced that Jesse Orozco can still come out of the pen and get a lefty out.
Yeah.
I agree. Yep. Put it on poll.
Or if you're a Phillies fan, you could choose this Mickey Morandini card.
Oh, wow.
Poznansky write you an essay about it.
Yeah.
More or
Or
less.
you like
Just-
Pete Harnish? There's your guy, Pete Harnish.
Harnish.
right
I
there.
love Pete
Not a
Harnish.
real
Did Pete
Nationals.
Harnish win a Cy Young one year? I think he did. No?
No, he didn't.
He never
No.
came close. I think Pete Harnish
No.
did. Look it up.
Jesse Orozco pitched from 1979 to 2003. That's a remarkable run.
Across 4 decades?
Yeah.
24 seasons. Yeah, across 4 decades. That's right.
Pete,
Vince Carter over here.
Pete Harnish was an all-star in 1991. There is no mention of him ever finishing anywhere on the Cy Young balloting.
Jesus.
I thought he
Look,
had a
it's the
season.
Rocket.
I'm sorry.
Roger Clemens.
Oh, Rocket.
Clemens, guys.
Oh, wow. Any value there?
Probably not.
No.
No.
All right.
1992 draft pick Sean Lowe. I don't think Sean Lowe ever made it.
No.
This is the card. If the Jeter rookie card looks like this, it's one of those draft pick cards. That's the one we're really looking for. Herm Winningham.
Oh, wow. What a
Winningham.
great name.
Wow.
Winningham.
That's a great 90s baseball name.
Winnie.
80s baseball name.
Sean Lowe
Oh,
played
look.
for 7 years, Mike. Cardinals,
Really?
White Sox, Pirates, Rockies. And
Good
then
work, Sean.
Royals. Yeah, nice little guy.
How long did Jack Morris play for, though?
Oh, my God. Forever.
Yeah, Jack.
Still playing.
Hall of Famer.
One of the great World Series starts of all time. Amazing.
Oh, hey, everyone, focus up. It's the Jeter rookie.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
We got it.
Wow.
Oh,
The
my
captain.
God. The
Yeah.
captain Jeets.
Now, this card is worth a lot of money. We're auctioning these off. Part of the auction is that if you there will be one lucky winner who will win a Derek Jeter prize package, which includes a Jeter rookie, which could be worth like $400, $500 if it's in perfect condition. You'll also win a Derek Jeter jersey that I have in my possession because I did a different fundraiser thing a couple years ago
Wow.
where I had to wear a Derek Jeter jersey and eat hot fruit, which I hate, and say things like Tom Brady sucks or whatever for money. And you'll win an actual Derek Jeter signed baseball that the writing staff of the show I'm currently working on got me as a joke that's authentic and that I hate and want out of my house. So I'm just going to give it to whoever wants it.
Mike,
If you're a
where
Derek Jeter fan, go enter yourself in that raffle.
am I supposed to look for the value of baseball cards? Because I've been yelled at for giving out the eBay price because anyone can sell their cards for anything. Where
They
do
used
I
to have a
actually
price
go?
guide. There actually used to be a price guide where you would look it up. I don't know if they still.
Somebody yelled at me in my direct message request, and I forgot to save it.
There's a couple things you can do. One is you can triangulate with eBay, multiple eBay listings, because sometimes people list cards for like $50,000 or something, and it doesn't mean anything. But if you go to the PSA price guide, PSA is one of the grading services. There's a bunch of them, Beckett, PSA, and I can't remember the names of the ones offhand. But if you go to they have an actual thing that will show you like actual sales that have gone through on eBay. So instead of looking at a card that's listed on eBay for $499, you can go and it said this one sold at this price, mint 8 or mint 9 or whatever. It sold at $312. So at least it gives you a better idea of how much the cards are worth.
Presuming that yours is graded as a 10, considering it was just opened. No, it wouldn't be.
No, it wouldn't be.
It's got to go straight to plastic.
It might be also slightly misprinted one way or another, like off center. There's lots of things that go into.
You have to
grading
like
baseball
send
cards.
them in and get them
Yeah,
graded.
yeah.
And they're very stingy.
The
but
tens
anyway.
the tens are going for a minimum of $300.
Yeah.
The nines.
It's probably a 9 because
all
it's
right. So
literally
you're going
brand
from
new and I
anywhere
just
from
put it in
like
plastic.
$40 to $80 on the
Yeah.
nines. That's decent though.
Pretty good.
Yep. Mike, I noticed you've been awfully quiet about the Celtics, the Heat, all that today. Any reason? Or?
That was kind of odd.
I'm sorry, I just don't have it in me to talk about the miserable, unpleasant, joyless brand of basketball the Miami Heat are inflicting on the world.
I will say the last 2 minutes of that game were really exciting. I know that because those are the only 2 minutes that I watched.
That's all you have to watch.
That's all you
need to watch.
Basketball game.
Every
Yeah, that's
NBA
all you
game.
They were
Yeah.
fantastic. I mean, the Panthers Penguins game was captivating last night. Finished
Jesus
7-6 in Pittsburgh last night. But the last 2 minutes of Heat
You're in
Celtics
Pittsburgh?
were incredible.
How about the Bruins? How about the Boston Bruins?
The Bees, yeah, they're like goal difference like plus 80 or something.
Yeah,
Having
best
a
team in the league.
crazy good season.
They're
And
on pace to break like every record that's ever existed in hockey.
But it's like, it was.
I'm now
Roy,
claiming them. I'm
What
now
a
claiming them as, like,
masterful
team I care
job
about.
by you, sprinting away from the NBA and the Heat and the Celtics and going to your Bees. I mean,
You didn't even watch the game.
They're 38-5-4.
Isn't he a Hartford
crazy
Whalers
record.
fan?
They're so good on the forecheck.
President's
So
Cup
good.
winners, possibly.
Well,
Oh,
yes, he will
easily.
be.
Wow.
And they're gonna break the President's Cup curse.
Trophy.
Fighting
Whatever.
Cup, yeah.
Not my
They're gonna
president.
fine.
the Biden Cup. Thank you, Mike Schur.
hold on a second. Smetty already has a top 5.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my
I
God.
thought we were saving it for tomorrow.
I can't wait.
She
till
can't. She
tomorrow.
has to do it now. She wants to do it now.
All right, here
She
we
wants
go.
to do it now.
You guys did
Oh,
4
boy.
separate Sacramento King top
joined
5s.
It was glorious.
5.
Yeah, 5. Go ahead, do it.
Number 5, the Muncie Flyers. Shout out to Muncie for having a pro football team. Muncie, Indiana.
Indiana. Yeah.
Home of oh shit, never mind.
Yep, what he said.
Well
The
said.
cradle of professional football in America, by the way, was all in the Chicagoland area.
Bonzi Wells.
I highly recommend reading the book The League about the formation of the NFL if you are interested in pro football history.
Is there a TikTok I can watch?
I can make you one, Amin. Number 4, I mentioned it earlier. The Decatur Staleys, they became the Chicago Bears. Number 3.
Where is Decatur?
Decatur is in Illinois.
Well, there's a million Decaturs all across the country.
Well, this one
Yeah.
is in Illinois.
Oh.
The Providence Steamroller. Number 3, Steamroller singular.
Singular steamroller.
Sounds
I
like some
love team names without plural S's at the end.
Avalanche.
Heat.
Jazz.
Magic.
The Orange, the Wolverine.
Jazz.
Lightning.
Larry Drew.
Wait, the Wolverine?
I don't know. I just said that.
File.
I was like, there's probably a Wolverine team somewhere.
What?
Saying names. Number 2, the Staten Island Stapletons. Stapleton, I'm glad you asked, Tony, is a neighborhood in Staten Island. A lot of these team names in the early pro football days were, named after the sponsor of their team. So I thought, maybe this team was named after a staple company. It was not, in fact, the case. It was named after a neighborhood in Staten Island called Stapleton. So it was the Staten Island Stapletons. Number 1, my favorite. This team only played for 1 year before it disbanded. In a suburb of Buffalo, New York, the Towanda Cardex Lumbermen.
Wow.
Cardex was an index card company.
Nice.
So there you go.
Towanda?
Towanda is a neighborhood in New York. Or city, I guess. I
Outside
don't
of
know.
Buffalo. Yeah.
Little small town.
So what's
Honestly,
this mean? Are we not
she
doing
said
this tomorrow?
She said Wolverine,
Yeah.
singular, and no one
Whatever.
she almost got away with it.
The Sheboygan Wolverine.
There you go.
Are we not doing this tomorrow now?
I literally just did it. You want me
So-
to do it again?
But we all wanted to put our own.
Yeah,
Is
we
it
all
just
wanted
everyone
football
put
team?
theirs together?
Baseball has the best.
Yeah, Mike, did you
Ooh.
hear about the Hickory Dickory Docks?
No,
They were
should we do
for-
baseball franchises tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
Let's
they?
do-
Are they? Is that a more defunct baseball
Rich.
franchise?
Yes.
They're new. They used to be the Hickory Crawdads. Now they're the Hickory Dickory Docks.
Oh, I left off John Salmons.
No.
Bye, guys.
See you,
And
Mike.
All right. All right. Goodbye.
I mean, I heard an interesting conversation and one that I know you're into on the way in this morning on ESPN Radio. Jalen Rose said Ben Simmons is playing so poorly and taking so much money from the Brooklyn Nets that he should be playing with a ski mask on, which is, I think, a joke that many people have made before. And Jay Williams took exception to it, as did Keyshawn Johnson, saying, hey, can't we just say he's not playing well? By the way, Ben Simmons is not playing that badly either. He's just not playing to the contract. But Jalen Rose thinks that he's stealing money from the Nets and used that way to describe what it is he thinks Ben Simmons is doing to the Brooklyn Nets. And Jay Williams and Keyshawn Johnson both said, hey, can't we just say he's playing poorly? Do we need to put a ski mask on a guy and have him stealing money from people? Why are we doing that? And it escalated into a whole big conversation. So I'd be interested in your thoughts on all of that.
Well, Stugotz, I agree with Jay Will and Keyshawn Johnson.
You do.
That we should not be saying that Ben Simmons has a ski mask on and is stealing money. Because when you rob a bank, what are you getting? Like a couple $100,000? That's nothing.
Right.
What we should say is Ben Simmons should put on a suit because he's embezzling millions of dollars. That's where the real criminals are, ladies and gentlemen.
White collar crime.
White collar crime.
So you're putting him on Wall Street or something.
Yes, absolutely.
Running an insurance scam.
I just watched that Bernie Madoff,
it's good.
Netflix
Yeah.
docuseries.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know how much balls you have to rob that many people for that long continuously, knowing it's all going to fall apart one day?
Could it? I'm almost amazed that like with the amount of money that couldn't you just like trip your way into like returning 5% on that and like just buy like some municipal bonds on the side and give it back to you and give it back to your customers. Like you can't even return like a little bit of a profit back to them.
Isn't that also fraud?
Oh, it's all fraud.
Oh, it's all fraud. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is like you just completely burned through all of it.
Because he takes this money and he has to pay other people.
Ponzi scheme.
Wait, are you trying to figure out the correct way to pull off a Ponzi scheme?
I'm saying,
Of all people?
I'm saying like there couldn't have been a way where like you make it last a little bit longer by.
He did it for a long time.
No,
If you
30
watch
years.
the
The way-
documentary, like he did it for a while.
It also doesn't work like you don't just give it back and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just going to live off all the interest that I made like with your money." Like they're burning through that money.
No, you collect as much money as you can. Whitty, the reason it collapsed is because the market collapsed, and then everyone wanted their money, and he can't give everyone their money back at once, but he can give a couple of people their money back at once, but not the entire group.
My favorite part about the
couple of 5% munis ain't gonna fix it.
No, dude, my favorite part was when there's the guy at like the rival investment place was like, "Yo, either they've discovered the fountain of youth or whatever, or this is a Ponzi scheme," and he writes everything out and sends it to the SEC, and the SEC's version of an investigation is, "Hello, Bernie, are you running a Ponzi scheme?" "No." "All right, good enough for us." That was the investigation.
Take your word for it.
Yeah.
So you want to change this? You want to get rid of how we describe a guy who is underperforming his contract to wearing a bank robber's mask, essentially.
Yeah. Bank robber's mask is so like, this is like the 1920s. Like they're all dressed like the Hamburglar.
So you want a suit that like Gordon Gekko would wear?
Okay. Hair slicked back.
That's
Real
true.
piece of
Let's
shit.
talk about corporate theft, wage
Yes.
theft. Those are the real thefts happening. Enough with this petty crime analogy.
Right. Like this is grand stealing millions of dollars.
So
right?
I mean, the problem for you is not the cruelty of saying that someone is stealing money; it's the accuracy of the metaphor.
Yeah, man. He's off base, Jalen Rose. You got him here like the Hamburger with a black and white striped shirt and a little mask, a Zorro mask on, and a weird fedora. What's up with that hat? And he's running around with a sack with a dollar sign on it and just like dollar bills sticking out of it. Like it's so small time.
Right, but we're so accustomed to saying wearing a ski mask. So do me a favor, just present it the other way, like how you want it presented moving forward here.
So double-breasted,
right? Yep.
power suit. Got to have the what's it called? Those pinstripes, the real bold pinstripes, right?
Like what Nick Wright was wearing on his show the other day.
Probably.
He had a very, very pinstripey three-piece suit on.
Yeah, I don't watch that hack. Sorry.
Wow, it's not on Twitter. Actually, I don't watch cable either. Sorry. Nick.
Then the tie has to be a power color, like bright red or like that blue, right?
Right.
Then it's got to be a blue shirt, but with the white collar. It's white collar crime, right?
But you would say Ben Simmons should be playing in what? Like, how would you describe that if you were just a three-piece suit?
In a three-piece suit, down on Wall Street. That's where Ben Simmons at.
I think you're right.
Right? Like
I mean, it's not exactly the point Jay Williams was trying to make, nor Keyshawn Johnson.
He was. He just didn't know it. They didn't know it yet.